Bev again with another video. I want to talk about alcohol and why it's so weird. But I will admit, I enjoy alcohol. This is a raspberry lime margarita that my husband made me. And I said, oh, that's great, because I happen to have a pink top on, right? And margaritas, they're so good. Anyway, on with the video. Okay. With COVID, let's face it, we're all drinking more, right? I am anyway. But why do I say alcohol is weird? You've heard a lot of takes on alcohol, right? Like red wine is good for the heart, beer replaces fluids and carbs, all this kind of stuff. But don't be fooled. To your body, it's just another poison to deal with. And it has to be, here's what happens in your body. It has to be metabolized by your liver and then filtered out by your kidneys. Now, if you've read my book, Are You Fat Making or Calorie Burning, you know that I'm always feeling sorry for the liver. It is one of the hardest working organs in your body. It has many, many, many important jobs to do, and like metabolizing the food that you eat, regulating your hormone balances. But the liver has to stop all of those important jobs when you're drinking, and it has to deal with the alcohol. And the other thing about alcohol, it's acid forming. And when you're having something that's acid forming, that means it has toxic waste. Okay, hang on, I'm thirsty. Oh, that is so good. Okay, and toxic waste in your body, if you've listened to my other videos on this, toxic waste has to be stored in your fat cells. I mean, your body doesn't want it near any healthy cells, so it just stores it in your fat cells. And if you don't have enough fat cells, it just makes more. So it also has the effect of dehydrating your body. And the higher the alcohol content in what you're drinking, then the higher the dehydration effect. So the kidneys have to, flush out all sorts of precious water. And what happens really, it's a bit complicated, but alcohol decreases your body's ability to produce these anti-diuretic hormones, ADHs. And what those hormones do is they're used to kind of reabsorb water in your body. So, if you don't have the ability to do that, it's flushing it out. It also decreases your exercise performance and endurance. So don't be drinking and going to work out at the same time. You're just not going to be as effective. And it contributes to high triglycerides or fat cells. And that leads to obesity. So what I want to point out in this video is this, you may know all this, right? But why can you get fat drinking alcohol? Okay, let's talk about that. First of all, what is alcohol? Well, it's a macronutrient. Everything you put in your body has to be a macronutrient. Well, let's face it. This absolutely delicious margarita is not a protein and it's not a fat. Oh, it's so good. It's a carbohydrate. It has to be, right? But the funny thing is, it doesn't react the same way as a normal carbohydrate in your body. It uses different biochemical pathways, and that's the problem. Now, carbs clock in at 4 calories a gram. But alcohol is 7 calories a gram. And I mean, you think of fat is 9. You always think fat, it has a kind of a high caloric count. Well, alcohol is 7. And that's just the alcohol providing that. What happens is it's converted. Oh, I forgot to put my little, I think I had too much margarita. There we are. The difference between alcohol as a carbohydrate is that it gets converted not into glucose like regular carbs, you know, veggies and fruits. It gets converted into fatty acids, not glucose. So this is a major, major biochemical difference. And I would say, you know, if you're tracking calories, you know, on the macronutrient, you know, protein, fats, and carbs, I would say that you would like liquor and wine calories. I would add to your fat calorie count, and beer calories I would add as carb count. Okay, still at the 7 calories per gram. But drinking and working out, as I say, is a problem. Not just this performance issue, but it puts your fat burning on hold because the liver has to deal or cope with the alcohol. It can't do anything else. It can't help you with any fat releasing, okay? I don't care how long you're running on the treadmill, right? So I would suggest that if you're drinking, I don't have anything with me right now, but if you're drinking, I would eat some food because that's going to slow the absorption of the alcohol. And also drink some water because that's going to dilute the liquor, right? And you know, if you think of headaches, you know, if you've had too much to drink, that's actually dehydration in the brain. And so if you drink water when you're drinking, that's going to help. But anyway, I'm just talking about this alcohol, and I think I'm going to have another drink. On a personal level, our middle guy got married when I was 63. And I thought, wow, I want to look really good for this wedding. And I have to admit, it's the best I ever looked. But I quit drinking for 3.5 months. I never had white wine. I never had a drink. And you know, if you know me, that's a little hard, right? I was unbelievably in good shape, really lean. I lost a ton of fat. You know, I was eating the same, but I just quit drinking. I never drank on the weekends. Well, didn't normally drink on the weeknights, but I never drank any liquor. Kind of hard for a week or two, and then I just got used to it. You know, I was drinking water at night, and I looked amazing. It was I'll say this. It's a bit odd, but somebody came up and thought I was a bridesmaid. I'm like, oh, no, I'm the mother of the groom. Anyway, please remember that drinking alcohol is pretty rough on your body, and it's treated quite differently than any other carb. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.